Hello guys, Emmanuel from Geekception here, and today I'll be doing the review of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Now, this review is going to be different, especially from me because I did not get the device first. So I'm going to be mixing things up a bit, and I shall continue after the intro. Let's begin. And welcome back guys, and like I said in the intro, this is a very different review. It's an opinion based review, so that means that maybe I would not be putting all the benchmarks in the world or all the stress tests in the world. Basically, I'm just going to be doing an opinion based review based on me using it for the past 2 weeks, and I'm going to give you guys what I've actually noticed in using it and what I like and what I don't like. And I quickly want to point out for you guys that are just here to quickly watch the first part of this video who are not going to last to the end. I'm just going to make my observations now. First, the phone feels very solid. It's a crowd pleaser. Many people like it. The camera is very fast. Most times when I'm in, the phone is in my pocket, I double tap to launch the camera and it launches even before I bring the phone out of my pocket. The third thing is I noticed that when you're charging the phone, if I think between 0 and 60%, the phone gets really hot while it's charging. So there's also that. Also, the phone is a fingerprint magnet, so just using the phone for 5 minutes and you have fingerprint plastered all over it. I did drop the phone a few times, don't tell Samsung. And it was really durable. The Corning Gorilla Glass 4 is really as efficient as advertised. If this phone drops, it can take a few hits. And that's about it for the quick part of this review. So you guys that only want to see like my opinion, the quick summary, that's basically it. So you can just leave a like and subscribe. And for those people who want to carry on with the review, let's continue. And first off, we get the specs out of the way. It's got a 5.1 inch Super AMOLED display, which also has a resolution of 2560 by 1440. It's got Corning Gorilla Glass 4 both in the front and at the back of the device. It's got an Exynos 7420 64-bit processor from Samsung, which is also paired with 3 GB of LPDDR4 RAM. It's got a non-removable 2600 mAh battery, which is kind of sad and good at the same time. I shall get to that later, guys. It's got Android 5.0.2 Lollipop out of the box. For the sensors, it's got a fingerprint scanner up front there. It's got a heart rate sensor at the back, and it's got ambient LED sensor to control the display. For the camera, it's got a 60 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization on the back. On front, it's got a 5 megapixel front facing camera. Both of them have an aperture of f1.9, and that has been it for the specifications. Looking at the front of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, it's got the 5.1 inch Quad HD display, which is also Super AMOLED, and it's got that fingerprint sensor, and that's about it for the front of the device. On the left side of the device, there's only the volume up and the volume down buttons. On the right side of the device, there's only the power button, and that's just about it on the right side of the device. On the back of the device is the 16 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization, a heart rate sensor, and a flash, and that's about it for the back of the device. Oh, and also that Corning Gorilla Glass 4. On the bottom of the device, there's only the speaker grill for the speakers, the USB port, and a headphone jack, and that's about it for the bottom of the device. The Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge runs TouchWiz on top of Android 5.0.2 Lollipop, and in general it's very fast. TouchWiz is very snappy. Apps launch instantly, and switching between them is no problem. In the 2 weeks I used the device, I think I only had lag like 3 times, which is very good considering it's a Samsung device. Also, it's Android 5.0.2 Lollipop, which is a little bit lower than the latest one, but still Lollipop, so pretty good on that end, Samsung. Also, something to note is that in previous Samsung devices, Galaxy S devices, the gallery was very slow. Scrolling between it is very slow, but now as you can see, it's pretty fast, and they actually streamline a lot of things, and rarely do you ever have lag anymore. For benchmarks, I ran the Antutu benchmark. On the Antutu benchmark, I got a score of 68,590 in 64-bit mode, which is pretty high as you guys can see currently now. I also ran 3D Mark 11, and I got a score of 21,242, which is also pretty high. So when it comes to performance, the S6 Edge is one of the best phones you can get out there. I also ran some games on the S6 Edge. I ran Beach Buggy Blitz. I was downloading Real Racing 3, but I couldn't get it to download in time for this review. But all games I ran on the S6 Edge ran beautifully, no lags, no stuttering, even when I switched out and switched back into the game. So gaming, pretty good. Something to take notice of, however, is that the S6 Edge gets hot, and when it gets hot, it gets really hot, so you guys definitely be aware of that. And onto the camera of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Well, the camera is one of the best cameras I ever used. I will be playing a slideshow now for you guys to see some shots I took when I went on a vacation, and the pictures are really nice. In fact, many people complimented me on the pictures. I took more pictures because of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. In fact, I took my DSLR camera to the trip and I ended up leaving it in the room and just shooting all the photos with the S6 Edge. So the S6 Edge camera is pretty good. It's also very fast. I shall show you guys a demo now of how fast it is. As you can see, it's like you double tap on the home button and it launches quickly, even inside applications. So that's pretty good. Camera on the S6 Edge is amazing. Consuming media on the S6 Edge is pretty nice. The display is very crisp and sharp. It's one of the best in its categories. The speakers are also good if your hands are not blocking them, by the way. But yeah, media consumption is pretty good on the S6 Edge. And on the S6 Edge, moving on to the battery life, well, what can I say? Battery life is good. I'm not saying it's not good, but it loses charge really quickly, guys. And another thing is standby is terrible on this phone. Like, I leave it at night at 70%. By the time I wake up the next morning, it's like 56%. That is terrible for standby time. And like I said earlier in this review, it gets really hot. So when you're charging it, it actually gets very hot to the touch. Like, if your skin is sensitive, it can actually burn you. So battery life is good in the fact that there's fast charging available, but then bad in the fact that it loses charge quickly and it gets hot when charging. And to elaborate on the things I've noticed about the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge all the 2 weeks I've been using it is the fact that it gets hot, like I said earlier. Another thing is the phone is it has a wow factor because of those double edges. So you are paying a bit more, but it looks good and many people will be like, oh my god, what phone is that? Another thing is the camera. The camera is really fast, amazing. Like I said, I went on a trip and I didn't use my DSLR with 3 lenses. Instead, I just used this camera, on the S6 Edge. So camera is also good. And fingerprint magnet, yeah, it's a fingerprint party with this phone. So definitely hold a microfiber cloth to always clean it. And that's about it for my own personal experience with the S6 Edge. On to my pros about the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge is the fact that the camera is amazing. The phone is light, it's got an amazing display, very crisp, very sharp, sometimes too sharp actually, and it's got fast charging, so you can go from 0 to 50 in a couple of minutes. And yeah, that's about it for my pros about the device. My con about the device would be this. First is the price. It's really expensive, at least where I am here. When you're watching a video or playing audio, your hand kind of blocks the speakers. That's also a very big con for people who like to play stuff outside. Another con is the heat. It gets pretty hot after very moderate use. Not intense use, okay, moderate use. Another thing is the fingerprint sensor. It works fine most of the time, but there are some times when it just refuses to work. I kid you not. So, but I would say 80% of the time it's pretty effective. And that has been it for this video, guys. I hope I've been able to touch on some things and give you guys a personal perspective. I hope this video is not too long, so you don't have to sit through all this. If you are still watching this, you're the real MVP. Give yourself a like there, and also leave a like on this page. Subscribe for more content. There are more videos coming soon. Later this week I'll be attending the Xiaomi event, so expect some Xiaomi videos later this week. And that has been it for this video, guys. Don't forget to remain awesome. I shall catch you guys next time. Bye.